The movie begins with a narration that tells us how monsters came from other planets to cause chaos on Earth. According to the narration, some of these monsters aren't actually bad, they're just misunderstood by humans. A hero who calls himself Ultraman appeared out of nowhere to defend people from these monsters. For 30 years, he has used his incredible powers to fight these creatures, maintaining balance in the world. The story starts in Odaiba, Japan, where we meet a young boy named Kenji, playing with his parents, Professor S and his mother, Emiko. We soon discover that Kenji's father is the real superhero, responsible for defending Japan and the world from dangerous kaiju creatures. He is the current Ultraman. During their playtime, Kenji's mom, Emiko, acts as the villain while Kenji plays the role of Ultraman. They have a household robot named Mina, who helps with cooking and other chores. Their family is passionate about baseball, and Emiko is a dedicated fan of the Hanshin Tigers in the Japanese League. She watches a tense match against their biggest rival, the Yomiuri Giants. Despite Kenji still being a child, both of his parents have high expectations for him, though their visions for his future differ. Professor S wants Kenji to be ready to take over as the next Ultraman, while Emiko dreams of him becoming a professional baseball player. An earthquake strikes, and Mina gets a call from Dr. Ando. Gigantron has appeared. Professor S, the current Ultraman, must stop it. He tells his wife to protect Kenji and assures his son he'll return. Transforming into Ultraman, he flies off to battle. 20 years later. Kenji is now all grown up, but sadly, his mother has passed away. He had moved to America with her, where he joined a baseball team called the Tigers and became their star player, gaining immense fame. Now, after years of success in American baseball, Kenji has returned to Japan to join the Yomiuri Giants. However, his return has a second purpose. His father is now old, and it is his responsibility to take over as the next Ultraman. Upon his return, Kenji attends a press conference where he answers numerous questions from the media. However, he loses his temper when a reporter named Amy asks about his mother's death. Frustrated, he storms out, only to receive an alert on his watch about a kaiju attack. Kenji transforms into Ultraman and battles the kaiju named Nanga, but he struggles as he tries to minimize collateral damage, not knowing how to defeat the monster without endangering civilians. Eventually, he unleashes his full power, landing a devastating punch on the creature. Just as the battle escalates, the Kaiju Defense Force Agency intervenes, capturing Nanga. The agency warns Ultraman that he is not an authorized government agent and should not engage in fights. If he disobeys, he will be taken into custody. After the fight, Kenji notices his Ultraman suit's battery is low. When this happens, he loses his powers temporarily. To avoid exposing his identity, he quickly flies to an isolated area and reverts to his normal form. Watching the Kaiju Defense Force struggle to contain Nanga, Kenji feels disillusioned. Tired of risking his life for people who don't appreciate him, he decides to leave the role of Ultraman behind and focus on baseball. Meanwhile, at the Kaiju Defense Headquarters, Dr. Ando holds a meeting. He reminds everyone of the destruction caused by Kaiju and how they have all lost family and friends because of these creatures. He announces that a powerful new weapon is being developed, one that will eliminate all Kaiju forever. The scene shifts to Dr. Ando and his men transporting a mysterious case needed to complete the weapon. However, another Kaiju, Gigantron, suddenly attacks, trying to reclaim the case. Kenji struggles and a new responsibility. As Kenji trains for his upcoming baseball game, he feels pain in his right arm. Mina informs him that his arm was dislocated during the battle with Nanga. Frustrated, he wonders if risking his body for ungrateful people was worth it. He quits being Ultraman and leaves Kaiju fighting to the Defense Force. During his first game in Japan, his injury affects his performance, and he fails to hit the ball properly. In a bold move, he decides to switch to his left hand, a first in baseball history, and successfully hits the ball. The entire stadium erupts in cheers, chanting his name. His father watches the game proudly, but his joy is cut short by an emergency Kaiju alert. The stadium is suddenly attacked, not by a rampaging monster, but by Gigantron, who has come to reclaim the stolen case. Kenji, unaware of the full situation, transforms into Ultraman and fights both Gigantron and the Kaiju Defense Force, who pose a threat to everyone. During the battle, Kenji realizes that Gigantron isn't attacking people. It is simply trying to protect something important. The Kaiju Defense Force launches a full-scale assault, and Ultraman attempts to protect the creature. Tragically, Gigantron is severely injured by missile fire and dies moments later. Ultraman retrieves the case to find out what Gigantron was protecting. When he opens it, he discovers an egg, Gigantron's offspring. The egg hatches immediately, revealing a baby kaiju. Realizing that the Defense Force is searching for it, Ultraman takes the creature to his underwater hideout to keep it safe. A new bond. To his surprise, the baby kaiju continuously licks his chest. Mina explains that this means the creature sees Kenji as its mother. Panicked, Kenji doesn't want this responsibility. He considers taking it to Kaiju Island, but Mina informs him that the island is missing. Meanwhile, Dr. Ando discovers that the baby kaiju has hatched and orders his men to locate and capture it. Kenji's father, Professor S, pays him a visit, but Kenji is not happy to see him. It is revealed that when Kenji was young, his parents divorced because Imiko couldn't handle the pressures of being married to a superhero. Kenji resents his father, believing that he abandoned him and his mother. As the baby kaiju remains scared of Kenji's human form, he repeatedly transforms between Ultraman and his normal self to prove he is the same person. It works, and the creature finally calms down. Kenji names her Amy. Caring for Amy disrupts Kenji's life, especially his baseball career. He is constantly exhausted, affecting his performance, and his coach considers transferring him to another team. Frustrated, Kenji seeks advice from Amy, the reporter, who is also a mother. She agrees to help him in exchange for an interview. Following her advice, Kenji starts bonding with Amy, even teaching her to play baseball. However, during his interview, Kenji receives an emergency alert. Amy has escaped and is unknowingly causing chaos in the city while searching for him. The Defense Force seizes the opportunity to capture her, using tranquilizers to knock her unconscious. They order Ultraman to surrender her, but he defies them and escapes with Amy. The final battle. Dr. Ando's true plan is revealed. He wants to use Amy as a superweapon and to locate Kaiju Island so he can exterminate all kaiju. His hatred stems from losing his family to kaiju attacks. As Amy enters her pupil stage, drones attack Kenji's hideout. His father is severely injured trying to protect them. Furious, Kenji transforms into Ultraman and destroys the drones. Amy emerges from her transformation with wings, but Dr. Ando deploys a robotic version of her mother to manipulate her. Confused, Amy follows the robot, believing it to be her real mother. Kenji, now Ultraman, fights against Ando's forces, but is defeated and nearly drowns. However, his father, revealed to be alive, rescues him, transforming into Ultra Dad. Together, they defeat Ando, who, in a final act of vengeance, detonates his ship. Kenji shields the city, losing an arm in the process. And that's how the movie ends. Thanks for watching, guys. If you love animation movies, please subscribe to the channel and keep watching. Like and share.